All right, here we go. Let me go live on Instagram. Oh, come on. Thank you. All right. Okay, cool. So we are live now. Finally got it right. First time we can get it right in 4 weeks. We are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, guys. I'm getting used to all this stuff here on StreamYard, so it would be really cool if you can comment below and be a part of the conversation. Would be totally cool. Basically, this is just something that I'm trying to attempt to do consistently. I think it's very important that when we are trying to gain any kind of social media following, if we're trying to gain any kind of social media presence, you need to be consistent. One of the things that we talked about in the mastermind this week was actually just some not frustrated, but like, some of the members are just like, I feel like it's not really getting across. It's not really getting anywhere. And they've only been doing it for a few months. For those of you that don't know, the YouTube channel, the Commercial Claim Show, has been around for 5 freaking years. And I actually saw a video on YouTube, no, on Instagram from Joe Rogan that I think it was about 5 years of doing the podcast before he realized that, that it was like a thing. He was doing a show and he asked in the show, there was, I don't know how many, a couple thousand people or a few hundred people, I don't know, who watches the podcast, and they just all went just like, and he was just like, holy shit. I'd say for us, it was definitely probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years of going week by week, which, by the way, in 5 years, we have not missed a single week of the Commercial Claim Show. But I definitely remember, for those, I don't know, anybody watching went to the Orlando event that we had at Booyah. It was one of our meetups. It was the second meetup that we had. I remember the first meetup we did was in Tampa, and there was probably, I don't know, 12 people there. And then all of a sudden, we promoted it a little bit more. We put some ads behind it, and there was over 100 people in a room just for 50. It was definitely coming out and that was 2020, maybe early 2021. It's like right during COVID. And people in the restaurant were pissed because nobody had masks on. Thank God for Florida. But yeah, so the reason why we're doing this Sunday live, which I haven't even figured out what it's about, what it's going to be, is just to be consistent. One of the things that you should be doing, well, a lot of when you're doing and you're posting on social media, you should always be trying out. Gary Vee says this in his book. You should always be trying out all the different new things that they've got, that they offer. So, like, for example, if they're telling you to post on Threads, then you should post on Threads. If they're telling you to use this new little feature, say on Instagram, then you should use a new little feature. Going live is one of those things that you should be doing as well, because it's just offered to you. And then the more of the cool new things that you try in social, then the more that they'll put you up in the they'll pump you up in the algorithm. Rich, welcome, sir, live on YouTube. Thank you for watching. So if you want to do anything successful on social media, you just got to try all the new little widgets that say Instagram and Facebook and whoever it is, see what they offer. Now, if you're one of those people that just don't like social media because it's not for you, well, then I would say you're crazy. Okay. It's there. It's free. You should do it. You should try it. And if you're unsure how to do it, just contact me and I'll be happy to help. And chances are you'll be able to actually grow your channel. Wow. What the hell does this look like to people? So this is what we taught today, on Monday, on our mastermind, was the video creation quadrant. 4 keys to social media success. Basically, your content has to have quality, structure, engagement, and optimize. Your quality, when it comes to quality, you should have good audio and visual. When it comes to structure of your actual content of your video, you should always have a hook, story, offer, and then making sure that you provide value. In order for you to have engagement, you have to have high energy and make sure that you are speaking to your avatar. And you need to make sure that you optimize your content. The way you do that is you have to schedule your posts, because, it's very difficult to just go on your own and post day by day. So schedule them. So basically record a lot of content and then schedule them out. And then make sure that you're measuring. So you're measuring the engagement levels, you're measuring the views, you're measuring which content actually resonated most. Every week we get together on Mondays, basically the marketing team, Commercial Claims Advocate, which has become basically like a quasi marketing agency, basically. So if anybody's interested in sort of the stuff that we do, just shoot me a DM. Like, seriously, like, comment here and I'll be happy to reach out to you, or just shoot me a DM on Instagram is the best. If you have my number, shoot me a text message, send me an email, vince@eliteresolutions.com. But if you're curious at all about some of the stuff that we're capable of doing on the marketing side, yeah, shoot me a message, because we basically are kind of building something pretty cool. Where we've got shout out to Jamela. You're just amazing in your design and the way you really design all of the posts and our landing pages and so on and so forth. Zenga, like the customer support king. Shout out to Zenga, who's just like making sure he's always there, has access to help people. We've got Hassan, who does all of our shorts. We've got our videographer here, Anton, locally. We've got shout out to Travis, who's really kicking butt on just making sure that all of it's just kind of going and the way it's supposed to go, and eventually scheduling posts and so on and so forth. So it's quite a team that we've put together on the commercial claims advocate side. And one of the things that we do is every week we go through every post that we posted throughout the week, and we testing, and we look at the numbers. What was the most engaging post that we had for the week? What was that content about? What was the subject matter? Right. And then with that, you have options, right? So you can take, let's say, so every week, so we have a running Google Doc of every week of the most engaging content and sort of like their statistics. And then from there, you got options, right? So like if I have a podcast at somebody, I could bring up those things in the podcast, in the conversation to discuss with the person, because I already know it's going to increase engagement on that podcast because I'm talking about something that I already know has high engagement. Another thing you can do is you can post ads behind it. So if you are selling your particular service, say public adjusting, or if you have a product that you're selling and you have a call to action, the first half of your content could be about that subject, which we already know is engaging based on the numbers. And then you could throw in your call to action of like, make sure you call me today if you want this XYZ. People are going to watch more of that because you already know that the content is engaging. So if that makes sense, yeah, find out what is the most quote unquote viral content that you post organically. And then from there, you have options and you could pump ads behind it to whatever specialty that you are trying to do, and you are trying to come across. So yeah, that's how we do it every single week, basically. All right. So we'll be meeting tomorrow. The next thing that I wanted to discuss is I usually just sort of go through my week in review. One of the things that we are doing at Elite Resolutions is we are switching CRMs. So if you guys are watching, I'd love for you to comment. What's the CRM that you use for your public adjusting firm, for your business, for whatever it is? I'm curious to know, what software do you use to really manage all of your claims and get everything moving and keeping track of your notes and keeping track of all your documents and everything that's going on throughout the life of your claim. Just curious to know what is it that you are. Am I live on? Oh my goodness, I'm live on Elite Resolutions. I don't even know. Yeah, curious to know what CRM you use. So we've been using So we started off with Trello. I know a lot of people use Trello based on a lot of my earlier YouTube videos, and it worked out great for us. But then we were kind of limited because there's not really many automations that go on there. Edina, shout out to you. Trello. Yep. See, that's what I thought. Rich uses Claim Wizard. Okay. So we've been using Job Nimbus actually for the past 3 or 4 years or so now, probably 3 years. And Job Nimbus is built for roofers. So we've tried over the last 3 years to really optimize it for us, for our public adjusting firm, and for our needs, and for what we sort of do on a daily basis. But it's been a little bit not so pleasant. And we never really got around to where we wanted it. So shout out to Lynette Young and Dave Young, the owners of Claim Wizard. We reached out to them, and they've also come on as a sponsor. And we made the switch. This week was the switch that we did it. We finally took the jump. We've been preparing for it since September. I wanted to make sure that like everything was in there, everything was migrated, everything was optimized, and then boom, Hurricane Helene hit. I'm like, we're not doing that. And then boom, Hurricane Milton hit. It's like, we're not doing that. So now we are basically smack in the middle of January, and we just did it. We finally did it. Things have slowed down a bit, so it's the perfect time. And like switching to anything else and trying anything new, it's been a bit of a struggle. I know that the staff has been struggling a little bit. I know the adjusters have been struggling a little bit, but we're here. We're doing it. I I feel pretty good about it. I definitely like the way Claim Wizard flows much more. You can tell it's definitely built for public adjusters. It's just like very, very much more streamlined. Everything's all sort of in one page. It's just set up better for what we do. It's got our RCV, ACV breakdown of payments, and it's got a lot of template letters that actually work. The flow is just more for an insurance claim, whereas Job Nimbus is built more for a roofing company and a sales team, and sort of how they basically keep track of their jobs and managing that job and their sales manager. And I don't own a roofing company, so I don't know all of the details behind it, but you can tell it's built more for that, whereas ours is just built for the insurance company, built for the insurance claims process, whereas Job Nimbus is more for just the roofing process from sale to build, right? And ours is, the insurance claims process. So it's been working out pretty nice. I'm pretty excited about it. Like I said, we've got some bumps and bruises, some bumps on the road, but for the most part, Claim Wizard is our firm, is our company, is our CRM. That's what we are using, and that's what we will be using probably from now and until the end of time. So, if you are at all wondering what CRM you should use and what you should use to sort of keep track everything for your insurance claims daily life, I will strongly recommend Claim Wizard all day. They are, like I said, they are also a sponsor of our show, and I'm very excited to have them and supporting us and what we're doing with everything. And yeah, I think that's the company you're going to want. I can just tell you right now, I've tried different ones. Obviously, like I said, we've tried Trello and we have tried Job Nimbus, and quite frankly, Claim Wizard by far, just a week in, again, even though we are going through some bumps and bruises, I can tell you it's just much more streamlined and definitely much more built for the public adjusting firm, So I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, it should work out pretty nicely. So um, if we got any questions or anything, comments or anything like that, I'm always up to hear some comments and questions or anything like that. Anything at all that you're basically curious about, wondering about, what is it that how is it, where are you where are you in your claims life? Where are you in your business life? Where are you in your personal life at all? Would definitely want to hear. If you're in California, would love to hear what's going on out there. I haven't been back out there. I did have a conversation with a contractor during the week. There may be some referrals coming our way for that. And I told the contractor, yeah, I mean, we'll take the next flight out there if need be. If there's any public adjusters out in California that have any questions about their fires and everything that's going on out there, I'm always here to help the fellow public adjuster, making sure that they are taken care of. Irina says lots of claims. So there you go. Lots of claims in California. I can imagine they're probably endless. Definitely when I was out there in California, I had that feeling of a hurricane. It was a hurricane feeling, it was just crazy, and it was just a lot going on, man. If anybody has been through a hurricane as an adjuster, it's very like sort of like an eerie feeling, I guess, in a way. It's like just this thing in the air, right? It's just it's this energy that's going on, and I felt it there. Where like people are just sort of sad, and things are just happening, and it's happening very fast. And when people have been just basically in the masses have been left with nothing and no place to live, it's pretty daunting. And it's a very, very eerie is the only word that I can think of. Very eerie feeling and an eerie energy that is going on there. On top of that, it's also very hectic. Just seems like there's a lot going on. And then as an adjuster, since it is unfortunate, but it is our business and it's a way for us to make money, as an adjuster, you start to get that a crazy amount of extreme FOMO, fear of missing out. If you're just like, I need to do more, I need to do more. Who do I need to contact? Who do I need to talk to? Should I go door knocking? Should I go visit this place? Should I talk to this place? Should I start posting more? Should I start doing this more? And you get very like overly emotional of like, I need to do more and more and more and more and more. When I will tell you from experience, if you live in a place where a catastrophe has occurred, you got to just chill out. Start if there's stuff that you want to do in regards to advertising or letting people know or so on and so forth, you should definitely just sort of like take it day by day. It will come. You don't have to worry about it too much, and just work your day and work your claims how you would normally work it. We've got Erica in Illinois. We can be a contract and PA. We can be a contractor and a PA Would Claim Wizard be able to run a roofing and PA company? I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question, Erica, unfortunately. But I mean, I would tell you if you're a roofing company and you are a PA, then maybe the best way would be like a Job Nimbus. I'd be happy to connect you with somebody in Job Nimbus, but I think it also depends on which company is more. Do you lean towards more than the other, if there is one? So I wish I could really answer that question, but the issue is that I've never ran a roofing company, and I also don't know what it would be like to run a roofing company and a public adjusting firm at the same time. So my gut tells me is it should be separated because Claim Wizard is very claims related. But if you want to put them all in one thing, maybe the Job Nimbus way would be the way to do it. But even then, you'd probably have to separate it because you're going to have your different notes, your different conversations with your customer, with your clients, where you may be talking about the materials and the type of shingles that are going to be used and the start date and the end date when you're not having those conversations with the insurance company where with the insurance company it happens to go south, you're going to have to take that file and you're going to have to potentially send it to an attorney, and they don't care about all that. So it's just I don't know. That's a tough question to ask, but it's a great question. If anybody else has any advice who has a public adjusting firm and a roofing company or a contracting firm, and what do you use? How do you keep track of everything? At the end of the day, it's just important to keep track of everything, whether that's with a CRM or with a spreadsheet. You have to use something. Irina, companies are here telling them not to hire anyone, and they've only been paying them half of the policy until the remaining is supplemented. Very sad. Yeah, there's definitely, I'll get to your question, Gabriel. But in regards to claim payments, there's definitely something going around on the insurance company side where they are basically, to use layman terms, just trying us. You can tell that there is definitely what's the word I'm looking for? A guideline. There are guidelines that are definitely being set. There are guidelines from the insurance company to their employees and adjusters that are limiting the payments to policyholders, whether that is when there is a public adjuster involved, or whether maybe the guidelines are different when a public adjuster is not involved or is involved. I don't know. That's possible. But I will tell you that I have never seen so many underpayments as I have seen over the last 2 hurricanes, 3 hurricanes, since Ian. And even Ian, it wasn't that bad. But definitely since Hurricane Ian, and now with Milton, it's just basically flat across the board. And then where I really saw it was with the hurricane that just hit Houston. We had a lot of claims coming in from there, where you can just see insurance companies are they're not going to pay for a full roof. They don't care. If it's just a handful of shingles that are damaged, there's no argument, at least up front in the undisputed, towards full roof replacement. You're going to have to argue it. You're going to have to fight it. You're going to have to gather your evidence. You're going to have to do a brittle test, a shingle repair test. You're going to have to do all of these things right off the bat. It's like if there's any reason for them to exclude it, or for them to not pay it, or for them to deny it, or underpayment, pay it, or whatever it is, that's just what they're going to do. And then they're going to require you to fight it. So, it's definitely, makes life obviously that much more difficult, but definitely something like what Irina said in the comments here on Instagram is they've only been paying half of the policy until the remaining is supplemented. So in that case, they're just like, okay, we'll pay for the whole thing, but you're going to have to actually start doing the work yourself. Another thing is, which I get it, right? Depreciation is another thing that's even been more difficult to get lately, where they're just like literally requiring you to not only show photos of completed work, but of actual invoices paid, where they're just like, yeah, no, if you do not hit your deductible, if you're not paying back your deductible and paying back the depreciation, like all of it in full, we're not releasing that money to you. Which again, I understand it, but at the same time, it's like, man, you pay for a replacement cost policy. You're allowed to shop around and find who you want. And if you end up with extra money on your insurance claim, and I know that the roofing industry, whoever is watching, if anybody's watching, is going to say, well, you're not allowed to do that, but you technically are. You can take your insurance proceeds and pretty much do whatever you want with them. It's the insurance company that doesn't have to pay twice for it. So, it's really up to you. If they pay you for a new roof and you don't replace the entire roof and all of a sudden you have damage to your roof again, guess what? The insurance company is just not going to pay twice. They are going to request then the proof that you actually replaced the roof. But if you replace the roof for half the amount and you want to use that money for something else in your house, well, quite frankly, you can do that. You know what I mean? So it is it is interesting sort of where it's going, the entire industry. It's a little concerning, but at the end of the day, we keep fighting. We keep fighting on. Let's see. We have another. Let's see. Gabriel asked a question. What's the best way to advertise? Again, I think the best way to advertise in this day and age, it's like what I just told you at the beginning. If you were watching, I basically said post on social media organically. Just post every single day. Post a bunch of different content. And then every week, you take a look at all of the content that you posted for the week, and you take a look at which piece of content was the most successful, which had the most views, which had the most engagement, which had the most comments, which had the most likes. You'll see if you go to your Instagram, there is like a dashboard where you can see all of the numbers and the statistics of all of your posts. What you do is after about a month or so, you take a look at these, say, top 4, because you're going through one every week, of your posts that resonated most with your audience, that had the most engagement. And if you would like to, then you could pump ads behind that. You already know now that there is a particular subject that people are interested in and that people are more engaged with, that people will actually watch. What you do with that is you take that piece of content. Let's just say it's about appraisals. I don't know. And it's just this piece of content that you did about appraisals. Now you take that content and you recreate it, but you actually throw a call to action in there. So you can say, hey, back to appraisals. Here's what's the most important thing, even more important than anything else. It's this, this, and that. And we can help you with that. Send me a message, call me below, and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you or meet you on your property to take care of you and make sure that you are, whatever. And then that's how you get that call to action. Or you can take the exact same video, create a separate video, or create an infographic that says, for more information, visit eliteresolutions.com, leave your information below, and we'll be happy to contact you to tell you more about this particular thing. Or you can create a lead magnet, which is like a, let's say, PDF document about appraisals and the top 5 things you must know about appraisals. And then at the end of your little video that you already know is gaining traction, you can put download this free thing for the other 4 things that you need to know about appraisals. And then they leave their information. And now you've got a hot lead. I feel like that all made sense to me. That might not have made sense at all to anybody. But basically, the idea is to take the most successful content that you come out with and reuse that content. And you could also reuse it for podcasts. You could also reuse it for other social media platforms, so on and so forth. So yes, Gabriel. Oh, cool. You did understand it. Good. I was a little concerned about that. Rich on YouTube says, I'm willing to bet as a former carrier adjuster that PLRB has sent something out to the carrier members. I would not bet, Rich. I would put my life savings on it. I'm telling you, it's like that feeling you get when you go into a catastrophic area after a hurricane or after a fire. It's that eerie, weird feeling. That's the feeling that I've got with the insurance claims industry. It's like, we're going to present this claim and we already know what's coming back. It's going to be an underpayment, but like severe underpayment or just a straight up denial. And they're just like, come on, try us. And in Florida, we cannot just, we can't really threaten them with litigation unless we're able to convince our client that they're going to have to pay more. But then they're just like, well, what did we hire you for? So it gets a little finicky that way. Irina says, because insureds can't dispute it or don't know how to, and they give up. No, that's exactly it. That's exactly it, is they end up giving up, obviously we have the appraisal process, but there's a risk to that. We have the mediation process here in Florida, which is normally a waste of time. So it's really just gathering the evidence, gathering the facts, submitting that proof of loss, and making sure that you've got all your ducks in a row, right? So like, I've got a large loss over in Orlando right now, and we submitted all of it, right? LOR is in there. I'm sorry, not the LOR, but we have the proof of loss. I've got a contractor's estimate, not my estimate. And we've also got what was I going to say? Obviously weather dates, Hurricane Milton, but I actually backed it up with statistics. So we'll see what they're going to say. But I'll tell you what, I've got my neighbor My freaking neighbor in my neighborhood, on my block, on my street, oak tree, split his house down the middle. After initial payment and after supplement, it's at like $65,000. Obviously, we're going for policy limits, which is not that high. It's only about 285 or something like that. But like, come on. And the adjuster I met out there was completely incompetent. The desk adjuster is incompetent. We've been trying to get them to get a large loss adjuster. So, Friday, I basically left a voicemail with the supervisor and I sent a nasty email. And now the threats are coming. The threats are coming. I'm going to give them one more week and we're going to see where we go. Hopefully, next Sunday, I can give you some good information and some positive information. But you just think that, like, so I've had my desk adjuster involved in that claim pretty heavily, and I'm getting involved now. And the reason why is because I really thought it was kind of a slam dunk. Those don't exist anymore. Those do not exist anymore. Slam dunks are few and far between. Even if you have an oak tree that's literally splitting your house down the middle, and he's like literally just writing. When I tell you, when people say it's an obvious total loss, when I tell you that, so long as an adjuster who's not a contractor or building materials expert, as long as you have an adjuster going in there and writing a line itemized detailed estimate, the chances of you actually reaching policy limits are slim to none, because they are like, I literally have an exactimate estimate for this house with the tree splitting it down the middle of, like, he's got drywall texture partial here. If I can't see the damage, it was crazy. We there on the other side, so the house, I don't know how to explain it. Like, if this is the house, right? And the tree split down the middle, and then right here on this end is the master bedroom. And he didn't see any damage in the master bedroom. Right here, there was like water damage. And he's like, well, I don't see any damage here, so I'm not writing any of that ceiling. And I'm like, what? We go up into the attic, which is over the master bedroom, and all of the insulation over the master bedroom as well is soaked. How do you think that drywall is going to look? But because he doesn't actually see it from the room, he's not writing any of the drywall. It's wild, guys. It's wild. It doesn't make any sense. It's sad. It's crazy. It's wild. It doesn't make any sense. And but it is what it is. It is what it is. This is where we're at. This is the state of the industry. Definitely here in Florida, it's become pretty tough. Um, you know, it's become pretty tough. But what are you gonna do, right? You got to just roll with the punches, do your best, and see what claims you can get settled, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm curious. I'm just looking at my calendar so I can really just go through the week and stuff like that, and what we did, and you know, besides us, moving to Claim Wizard, another thing that we're doing at Elite Resolutions, really, this is just really as a business owner. Has anybody ever heard of Profit First? Okay. Would love to know your thoughts if you've actually implemented it. So it's a book. There's a book. It's called Profit First. All right. Really, really great book. And it teaches you how to basically really manage your income. Now, this is a great, great technique and format for really being responsible with your income, especially in the business that we're in, where money sort of comes in waves. I strongly recommend Profit First. So we've implemented it. We self-implemented it a few months ago, and it's been going okay. But we did recently get a coach to help us do it, and it's very, very cool. And I don't really need to. Yeah, I mean, I could basically basically what happens is you get. It's hard to see here, but you basically have percentages that you allocate any income that you get. It's all percentages, and you want to have a certain percentage that goes into your profit first. So you have to make profit first. Then you have your owner's pay, tax allocation, and then operating expenses. And you want to take a particular percentage, whether you get $1 of revenue or $1,000 or $100,000, you're going to allocate that by percentage. And that's where I kind of like want to bring this live, is to, I strongly recommend, if nobody has read that book, you should read that book, Profit First. Okay. I can give you the author, but it's called Profit First. There's only one. Well, quick question. Mora claims how to manage a situation with the homeowner when the insurance company denied the claim and the client thinks that it is our fault that the claim is denied. That's where your documentation is very, very important. And you have to show them the documentation and show them everything that you were doing. Obviously, we are not incentivized whatsoever for a claim to be denied. And we don't get paid if claims get denied. So it wouldn't make sense if it's our fault. Now, I don't know the details behind that, but obviously we'd have to look at it a little bit more. One of the things that I like about Claim Wizard is that there is a customer portal, which we have not activated yet, but I am very excited about that we can actually show our customers the work that is being done behind the scenes. But to finish off, Profit First, I strongly recommend it. If you haven't read that book, buy it right now, start reading it, and really think about implementing it. Basically, what you do is any kind of money, any revenue that is taken in, you obviously have to. We forget that there's profit that we need to make. And I think employees forget that and stuff too. But we do have to make profit as a business owner. And we do have overhead that we have to keep track of. And it basically is a system and is a framework for you to ultimately actually make profit in your company. We are very excited to be implementing this, and it should be a game changer. And I think everybody should be doing it. If you want any more information about it, I'm happy to help you. Again, you could send me a message. But if you feel like you're constantly kind of drowning or you're constantly kind of trying to stay afloat, I believe that this is a system. Again, we've self-implemented now for the past few months, and it has been very, very beneficial. But I wanted to go a next level with it and just hire a month-to-month coach to sort of help us. And that's been even better. It's very, very exciting, sort of what I'm looking at, where even if you have bad months, you're still allocating money towards your profit, and you're also allocating money towards you as a company owner. You just need to make sure that obviously if you didn't make as much revenue, your operations need to be down, but you have to cut on expenses. You have to cut on certain things, but at least because we allocate every 2 weeks. So right there, every 2 weeks, we could see, okay, where is this going? What else do we have to cut out if we need to cut out? And then as you sort of make more profit, then you can actually think about reinvesting in your company to try to actually, expand and ultimately find ways to generate more revenue. So it's a great way for you to manage your books. If you have a bookkeeper or you have an accountant that you work with directly, I would actually, if you can get them on board, I believe that will be very, very beneficial. Profit First is the way to go, and it's working out tremendously for us. But if you have any more questions, I'm happy to help. It's business, guys. One thing that I want to really start, I'm making a little bit of a shift. All right. If you didn't notice, my Instagram page is Vince Perri Official. Okay. And I've got an idea for a little change in the YouTube show. I personally love business. I love marketing. I love operations. I love scaling. I love the buying and selling of businesses. I like business brokering. Like there's a lot of other interests that I have that are outside of the world of claims, but still inside of the world of business. And what I want to start doing, what you are going to start seeing, I'm going to end the live with this mic drop. You're going to start seeing a side of Vince that is much more geared towards the overall business strategies, running an overall business, scaling a business, marketing, sales, buying, selling, business, brokering, all kinds of stuff. And all obviously bringing it back full circle with meditation, manifestation, having the right mindset, and having the proper leadership qualities to ultimately be successful in life, be the one in your family, in your friends, in your company, and really just 10x, not just your business, but your business as well, your life as well. You're going to start seeing a little bit of a shift in the content and on the YouTube channel and Instagram, social media, so on and so forth, where I'm going to be a little bit more holistic, but overall, a little bit more overall global in the side of just business and life. I'm pretty excited about it because it's the same audience. So don't be concerned. If you are a public adjuster, you're just starting out and you want more content on just claims only, you're going to get that as well. And you could, quite frankly, just scroll through the YouTube channel. You could find 5 years worth of it. But you're also all entrepreneurs. I've told you guys that since the start of the YouTube channel. You could see some of the first episodes where I tell the audience of public adjusters, you are entrepreneurs. You are business owners. I'll never forget when I was in a Thanksgiving dinner one day, and the subject, and I was a public adjuster then for a couple of years, and the subject of entrepreneurship came up, and my cousin goes, well, Vince is an entrepreneur. And I was like, it was the first time that not only I had been called an entrepreneur, but that the idea of me being an entrepreneur, even though I worked under another firm, it really just sort of resonated. So whether as public adjusters, whether you are working for another firm or you have your own firm, I want you to know if you're generating leads and you're taking care of your clients from A to Z, and you're ultimately networking, building relationships with other people, and really just establishing yourself and building your network, then you are an entrepreneur because that's what an entrepreneur is. So, what I want to get into, because it's just what I like and what I want to do, is I want to get into that little bit more of a more overall entrepreneurial type. How can you ultimately level up as an entrepreneur, as a marketer, as a salesperson, as an operations manager, as a leader, and have the proper mindset in doing so. So get ready. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm getting into a lot of really cool stuff. So that's why we've got Vince Perry Official is our Instagram handle, and there I've got an idea for potentially a different name for the commercial claim show that I'm pretty excited about. Um, so I'll make that announcement eventually. But yeah, I just really am excited about that, and that's kind of where these lives are going, I see. And look, today we actually went past 30 minutes. So I'm pretty excited about that, and we've had constant viewers the entire time. So, I'm pretty excited. It's like what, 5 weeks of lives going in a row. And another thing about consistency is we've got 3 viewers on Instagram. We've got 2 viewers and maybe more on Facebook and YouTube, and it's about consistency. When I started the live, I didn't know what it would be about. However, I knew that if I just did it every single Sunday without stopping, no matter what, I would eventually figure it out. And if this is where we are now, if I stay consistent with it and we have a nice structure and I'm able to really hit home with some of the topics that we talk about, in a year, this live will be on a whole other level. Be consistent, stick with it, be persistent. And I promise you, you're going to get the results that you want when it comes to outreach and social media and overall marketing. If you want to be successful in business, you have to be able to market yourself. People will only do business with people that they like, know, and trust. And if you're constantly behind your logo, or if you're constantly behind this veil of, I don't want to be the face, then it's going to be much more difficult for you to ultimately market and then ultimately grow your business. So get the freaking camera on, put it up on the camera, put it up. It's available now. It might not have been as available 20 years ago, but it's available now. And let people know who you are. Let people get to know you. And I promise you, because I know from experience, people will not only start following you, people will start looking at you as a person that they want to get more information from. And the more information they want to get, the more they will be willing to buy. So keep that in mind, guys. Happy Sunday. Have a killer freaking Sunday. Spend today with your family, with your loved ones. I'm thinking about maybe smoking some ribs and to bring the entire family over this evening for a nice dinner so that we could be with our loved ones. That's what Sunday is all about. Go to church, pray to God, whatever it is, give thanks, be grateful for everything that you've got. And let's get ready, rest up, eat well, and get ready for a killer Monday so that we could all have a very, very successful week. We will see you guys again next Sunday. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Let's end the stream now. End live video and end stream.